Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. We have a Clayton Echard story, so do me a favor. Dip into your kids' Halloween candy. God knows they've got too much of it. And first of all, hook a brother up. Can we get some Butterfingers in the house? I used to hate Butterfingers. I was a big Reese's Pieces fan. Still am. But boy, has my palate matured to enjoy a perfect crunch of a Butterfinger. Anyway, I digress. You can tell where my mind is at. What are you guys dressing up as for Halloween? Let me know. I'm going as a guy obsessed with Clayton Echard videos. Bachelor shuts down Clayton's Bachelor Airbnb. Isn't this crazy? Now, did they send him a lawsuit? No, I'm sure it ended before then. But he says back after a technical difficulty, and according to my conversation with him, without him having to say they were going to sue him, we all know exactly what was going on. So Clayton created a Airbnb where he would, for a certain price point, do a rose ceremony, which I think is brilliant. I think it's a brilliant idea. Legally speaking, maybe not, but that's not his fault. Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So here's his Airbnb video that has since been edited.
Short-term rental in South Scottsdale, and I would love to host you and your friends, whether it be for a bachelorette party, a bachelor party, or even a weekend getaway. The 4-bedroom home can sleep 8 people comfortably and is currently undergoing renovations in the backyard to add a pool.
So there it is, and we already showed this video. It's great. It's gonna have a pool rendition. They're doing the plumbing work for it. It's gonna be near Scottsdale, which is a perfect place for an Airbnb, right? Well, and again, the link's there. By all means, everybody who wants to support Clayton should go support this Airbnb. That's where you can put money into his pocket. But here was the video we made just 12 days ago, and see if you can hear what is now cut out. Have a watch. It's got the nice blue suit. Lovely ladies.
You all look absolutely stunning tonight, and I'm so grateful that we get to be together during this incredible weekend.
So he's reenacting a rose ceremony, which apparently you can't do.
Time memories are made, but unfortunately, for one of you here tonight, your friends have majority voted, and they've identified you as a potential wild card for the weekend. They do not know if you'll survive Scottsdale in one piece, and therefore, you will not be receiving a rose here tonight.
The wild card.
No, this is not a drill. I officially have my own short-term rental in South Scottsdale.
Okay, fine. And again, so here's what he had to do. I'm assuming is he dubbed his new lines on top of this one. Have a watch. So this is all dubbed right here.
Rental in South Scottsdale, and I would love to host you and your friends, whether it be for a bachelorette party, a bachelor party, or even a weekend.
He does a good job. So anyway, he cuts out the part where it's obviously bachelor themed, which is interesting, and I actually discussed that with him on my Driving with Dave episode. I'm going to share a clip in a second, but this isn't the first time someone has had an issue with maybe taking some licensing from The Bachelor. Elizabeth from Clayton's season tried to do her own bachelor themed photo shoot with rose petals, which you would think, why can't she do a photo shoot with rose petals? Are rose petals trademarked? I'm not sure of the ins and outs. I'm not a lawyer, but I do have one. In case anyone wants to have to deal with me, you got to come through my lawyer. Suit up, pal. Either way, she had to take this set of photos down after she kind of made it seem like she was going to be the next bachelorette. And they were like, you can't do that. And so here is my conversation with Clayton. Just going to play a few minutes of this. We started with him talking about Caitlin Bristow. I'm going to share that clip because that leads into his conversation about the Bachelor Airbnb, and you can read through his what he says and what he doesn't say about the fact that the Bachelor producers essentially put the old heave-ho, they put the stop on his Bachelor Airbnb, which is too bad.
I hear those stories too often. Why did you choose Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow to why did you guys choose to do a conversation together post breakup?
Because of Caitlin's authenticity. I trusted her, and I still trust her. I think she is, I'll be honest with you, she really shocked me.
Wow.
You can't judge a book by its cover, but we all inevitably do it from time to time. And I knew nothing of Caitlin. And when she first came on my season of The Bachelor, I just thought she was going to be maybe a little pompous. I thought she'd be a little full of herself. I just thought that, you know, I didn't know anything about her, but outside of just like having seen pictures of her. And then she showed up, and I remember like we met in this like back room before, like in this theater, and she goes, "How you doing?" And I was like, I'm good. She goes, no, like, how are you really doing? And it just, in that moment, I'm like, oh wow, she's like really asking how I'm doing, like in general. Like she's just, hey, that's a mental health check. And she was like,
yeah, off the clock, not on camera.
Yeah, no cameras around at all. And I was like, and so I kind of opened up a little bit, and I'll never forget, producers came in, they're like, hey, we're about to roll in 5. And she goes, okay. And then they walk away, and she's like, we can sit here as long as you want and talk. She's like, well, they'll start when we're ready. And I knew that she had a ton of respect for the film crew and all that. It wasn't that she was saying like, listen, like everyone waits on us. Her whole point, I think, in that moment was to say, listen, this is important.
Get it right
that you're able to like get out what you need to right now, and just know that I'm here to listen to you until you are done talking. And that was just such a powerful moment for me, where I'm like, wow, this girl is incredible. And then she checked in with me so many times as the show was airing, and then post-show. I mean, she would text and text and text her, and I'll also say Becca Kufrin.
So obviously Clayton here has a lot of respect for Caitlin, as we do as well. And by the way, next week's episode of Driving with Dave will feature Caitlin Bristow, which is probably our biggest guest of all time, if you think about, kind of the ranking of the show and how that goes. But either way, so now I'm hearing Clayton discuss Caitlin, and I'm thinking, could we have a Clayton-Caitlin matchup? Is that? Can we say that? Clayton and Caitlin sitting in a tree. Clayton and Caitlin. It's hard to say. Say it 5 times fast. Either way, that leads to the topic about Airbnbs. It's a quick one, but here it comes.
Those two would text me consistently and just check in. Hey, just want to see how you're doing. And I'm like, this shows how true they're, like how truly authentic they are, and how great of human beings
Especially
they are.
considering, I mean, it's like we always say, it's what's done behind the cameras where you really get to learn about somebody. Mm-hmm. So I guess you're saying you think Caitlin Bristow would be a good partner?
I think Caitlin Bristow has so many incredible qualities about her. I mean, she is, she's very sweet. She will listen. She sits there and she's a very attentive listener.
She won Dancing with the Stars. Now you're dancing.
She's very talented.
You see where I'm going with this?
Well,
you like Nashville?
Honestly,
Nashville's a big. By the way, Nashville's
a big bachelorette party spot. Yeah.
Well, now that you got the Bachelor at Airbnb empire.
Well, that's so.
I was talking to my wife about. I'm not going to let you. I'm gonna.
So he was about to say that that's no longer happening.
I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, Clayton's got a great deal with this, like showing up to the Bachelor Airbnb. I was like, you're gonna have to triple your rate so you can make it to all your other franchises.
What I didn't realize at the time is he's trying to tell me, hey Dave, no, we can't call it that anymore.
I'll say this: it's not going to be marketed as a Bachelor Airbnb anymore.
You got a cease and desist from them.
I'll just say this: nobody is a
man. Clayton just gets hit left and right. He gets these lawsuits against him. He had this going on. He's this accusation by a TikToker. And now the guy tries to make a couple honest bucks using the name he made on The Bachelor. And he's going to say, nope, they won't let it happen.
Above the rules, including me. And
you need to use a carnation instead of a rose.
I will just say this. I never try to be a nuisance, and I respect everybody for what people have provided me. I mean, I'm very grateful for being chosen to be the Bachelor. Like, they could have picked anybody else.
Gosh, but they're still fucking with you, though.
Well, you know what? At the end, again, I'm not above.
It's legal. It's
anything.
Corporate.
I'm not above anything, and I sign contracts, and you know what? I'm not above them, and I have to abide by them. And I ultimately am grateful, and I have an Airbnb. And I'm still going to be able to meet people and hang out and say hello and have a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah, you can still do appearance fees.
Well, I got to figure out how exactly I'm going to work.
I go, you can still do appearance fees. He's like, well, I gotta think, maybe he's not allowed to do appearance fees still. Who knows? I don't know what the contract is, but hey, Clayton, just you gotta say this when they try to sue you. Just say, I didn't know, I couldn't do that. Better to apologize than ask permission because they would have never approved that in the first place. Why can't Clayton say for $200 extra he'll show up? He doesn't have to announce he'll be doing a rose ceremony. That can be like a wink, wink. For $200, I will come and distribute bouquets of flowers to you. Will there be daffodils? No, there will be roses. Is that enough legal sort of jargon for you? Well, speaking of legal jargon, Clayton's legal fund that we set up last week has 303 donations. It has hit the goal of $7,500 raised, and this money is going to be well served as he's back in court this Thursday. I don't know if it'll be live streamed like it was last week, but either way, we will get to see the fruits of our labor. And by labor, I mean those of you that donated, if he ends up getting an attorney. Again, maybe he won't for this court case. I'm not really sure, but certainly he's got a lot of legal issues. Be very fascinating to see how that all goes down. But I did want to share that because it's like, if, people think, Bachelor contestants rolling in the dough. Well, yeah, he's, invested in a rental property, which it doesn't mean he's broke. It means he's got his money tied up in that. And then, he said he's, you saw in the Airbnb, right, that he said he's going to be building this backyard. So, like, what do you think? This just happens overnight? And then so when you explain that to people, they go, oh, so I'm supposed to donate my hard-earned money to him? It's like, no, first of all, no one's forcing anyone to donate money to anybody. But there's a reason why you don't just go out and get an attorney. He's got life expenses. He was already planning to start this, but I don't think the pool was supposed to be done till the spring, and who knows how long, if there's any delays. So he might be 6 months out from receiving a penny from his Airbnb, and in the meantime, clearly he can't turn the clock back on some of these court cases that he's having to deal with. So it will be interesting to see how that all plays out. But again, thanks a lot to everybody who donated. That is insane. Okay, from Clayton to Caitlin, we have a Caitlin video coming up right after this. And don't forget, every day, including a Halloween special, we have the Bachelor Rush Hour podcast every afternoon. We'll have that for you just after this.